Tonight's match is presented by our premier partners. Welcome to the pre-match show presented by Brian Bird's Home Selling Team. Score the best deal on a home with the Brian Bird's Home Selling Team. Visit ChicoRealtor.com or call 915-751-1500.
A beautiful October evening in El Paso, Texas, and beautiful Southwest University Park, host to the Western Conference semifinal between El Paso Locomotive FC and New Mexico United. As we take you behind the scenes, brought to you by GECU, Locomotive FC making their way into this building with a 12-match unbeaten streak that is best in the country. And no signs of this train slowing down. We are in for a good one tonight, one more time. Welcome to the Brian Bird's Home Selling Team pregame show. I am Duke Keith, joined by my socially distant broadcast partner, Michael Balagan. And Michael, fifth time here at Southwest University Park between United and Locomotive FC. This one promises to be just as fun as the other four.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time these two teams have met so far this year, it's been entertaining and intense. However, tonight, the stakes are higher. Both teams need a win to advance to the Western Conference Finals. If El Paso wins, they advance for the second year in a row. If New Mexico gets a win, this would be the furthest that they've ever gone in the playoffs, so they're definitely looking to come in tonight and play spoilers.
New Mexico on the road this past Saturday, and in the 101st minute, they get the goal, beating a tough San Antonio FC squad in extra time. You be the judge. Somewhat controversial goal from Chris Wehan, but you got to hand it to United. They go on the road to San Antonio and get the win, Michael.
Yeah, this has definitely been a tough 2020 season for New Mexico United. They've had to play every single one of their match on the road due to COVID restrictions in New Mexico not allowing them to play home games. However, they've shown their resilience, getting second place in Group C, and then going on the road last weekend to San Antonio and getting a road win. And in addition to that, they earned their third consecutive shutout in a row. So they're looking to come in tonight with a lot of energy, with a lot of confidence.
For El Paso, they beat a scrappy FC Tulsa team in penalties. Locomotive could have put it away earlier. There were a whole lot of chances for Aaron Gomez last week, but a great performance by keeper Sean Lewis and more than a little help from the woodwork kept this one all tied up and into penalties. Positives for El Paso, though. A brace for Leandro Carrijo, his first two this season for Locomotive FC. And Logan Ketterer doing Logan Ketterer things. Huge save against Ariel Martinez in penalties. And in penalties, El Paso, 4 for 4 from the spot. Saeed Robinson clinches it, Michael.
For me, that was the most exciting match in Locomotive history. A lot of credit has to go to Mark Lowry and his staff for the adjustments they made in that second half and into overtime to shift the momentum in the Locomotive's favor. However, they're one win away from advancing to the Western Conference Finals, so they're going to come in tonight with a lot of confidence, but also be wary of New Mexico United.
So does the Locomotive FC train keep rolling toward Western Conference supremacy? Or does New Mexico United continue its playoff run? Buckle up. This one is going to be fun.
Tonight's match was presented by our premier partners.
From start, through inspection, to finish.
My roofs don't leak. Guaranteed.
Call Lone Star 915-600-0050.
During these uncertain times, planning ahead has never been more important, which is why no one should be without this important document, a will. A will is a legal document that ensures your loved ones understand your final wishes clearly and precisely. At Zant Law Firm, we'll help you start making an estate plan today so that when the unexpected happens, your intentions are met and your family is protected. And as always, you can visit our office or we can bring our mobile office to you. And contactless transactions are also available because your final wishes deserve to be carried out. Call Zant Law Firm today.
Depression and anxiety can paralyze you and affect relationships. You don't have to go through life feeling this way. Hi, I'm Alfredo Arellano, and I want to educate you on transcranial magnetic stimulation, an innovative approach for the treatment of depression and anxiety. TMS resets the brain, opening the channels responsible for mood, concentration, energy, planning, and creativity with virtually no side effects. You deserve a life full of happiness and love. Call or visit us online for a screening. We're committed to healing minds and helping hearts.
Southwest Chiropractic, serving El Paso area and relieving pain for more than 20 years. Not only do we treat auto, sports, and work-related injuries, but we also treat scoliosis, sciatica, back pain, disc injuries, chronic pain treatment, and we even manage stress. At Southwest Chiropractic, our patients are seen the same day. We provide gentle and effective care, and we accept most insurances. Schedule your appointment today and let us relieve your pain. With 3 convenient locations in El Paso. Southwest Chiropractic. Your health is our well-being. Call us today, 915-581-9619.
From start through inspection to finish.
My roofs don't leak. Guaranteed.
Tonight's match is presented by our premier.
Have started this way.
Yeah, we've definitely seen this lineup plenty of times in this season. It's given them some continuity and
San Antonio and the win, Michael.
yeah, there's definitely match on the road. They've had to play every single one. Every single match.
King into the middle. Maris to pick up. But Rebellon leaves him. Eder Borelli. Borelli and Carrijo coming along with Josue Aron Gomez from Locomotive FC's sister squad south of the border, FC Juarez Bravos. Second year in the top flight. King. Locomotive. Well done, Rebellon! Scott. Well done, Rebellon! Well done, Rebellon!
Be the team on the front foot in this game with a quick start, and you see that early on, getting a shot up from Brian Rebellon in the first 2 minutes of this match.
Cody Mizell, El Gato Azul, as they like to call him in Albuquerque. Back in his blues. Logan Ketterer's got the home. Back in his blues. Foul earned by Locomotive FC will give them the free kick. Locomotive FC, 43 more. King. Locomotive. Well done, Rebellon! Yuma. Another game at center back. Gomez trying to get there.
Previous 4 matches, so can they make sure front foot and the team creating chances early in this game? The second one is, can they put pressure on teams getting the win and the draw. They were able to put pressure on the center backs.
Sandoval's going to get ahead to that, and it'll go over for a goal kick, rather.
And not much really in that chance for Devin Sandoval. You saw Yuma and Mishak Jerome really tight. Every single one of them on set pieces with likes of Chris Weehan on them and the big bodies of Kalen Ryden, Sam Hamilton, Devin Sandoval. So can they be sharp on set pieces? And then can they put their chances away on set pieces? Can they find Leandro Carrillo? Can they find Yuma? Can they find their big bodies on set pieces and capitalize on those opportunities?
Team Casa Keys to the game brought to you by Casa Kia, Casa Ford Lincoln, and Casa Nissan. Sandoval. That is a foul. Moreno taken down by Yuma. Moreno, one of the bright young stars for this New Mexico United squad. Part of the Chicago Fire organization for a while, and they love what they've seen. That was a little too far ahead. Chris Weehan trying to connect with Sandoval. Big man from Albuquerque. Graduate of El Dorado High School. A proud Eagle. Kalen. Here comes Gomez. Gomez bringing it in, trying to cross. It's down to the middle. Moreno gets it to Gomez, who draws the contact from Moreno. And Moreno being urged to calm down by referee John Freeman. Take a look at that. Right on the doorstep. Great challenge by Gomez, ready to go to work again up the left. Working on Bruce. Pulls it back. That's a sliding tackle, and that is going to be
for El Paso. So a very important player for El Paso.
Dylan Maris, though, on this free kick. And Guzman will have to be off the field. Into the mixer. Bruce is going to get ahead to it. But here is Chaperrera. Looks like Aaron Gomez got a piece, and it will be tipped out. Corner kick coming. Chick-fil-A corner. First of the night, and it'll be Miris.
This is the early pressure we talked about and the strong start that we talked about Paso having. Can they capitalize on this set-piece moment? Saw Leandro Carrillo get a goal in the last game against Tulsa. The second of the night. Can they look for Leandro Carrillo or Brian Rebellon?
Let's see where Miris puts it. 5 assists this year, 4 off of set pieces. Miris, near post. Richie Ryan could. Wide, and Bruce. Ryan. He has controlled by Yuma. Trying to draw the contacts. And does from Devin Sandoval.
That's just
assists this year, 4.
Recognizing that he's outnumbered 2v1. He has nowhere to go. He's getting pinned against the touchline. Can I take the contact and find a way to draw the foul? Smart play from the veteran.
Locomotive FC going to work again. Rebellon. Gomez, great work, touched last by Guzman. And they'll work it out. Bruce, Sam Hamilton. But only so far as Mishak Jerome at the midway stripe goes all the way over the top. Gomez applauds the effort with a thumbs up. Goal kick for Coach.
The Locomotive try to isolate Aaron Gomez against Daniel Bruce. They feel like that's a challenge and a duel that they can take advantage of. Obviously, they don't have Omar Salgado, which would have been an even better option taking on Daniel Bruce. However, they have Jose Aaron Gomez, who's capable of making it a very difficult night for Daniel Bruce.
Moreno goes down. They want a foul, won't get it. Good work by Yuma. Maka King. In front of that, though, great work by Tenari, but he commits the foul as he puts Herrera down on the ground. Carrijo will restart. Slow roller. Moreno will put it into touch, and he gets tangled with Borelli. As you might imagine, things will be contentious between these two rivals. Familiarity breeds contempt. 64 fouls conceded by New Mexico United, 43 for Locomotive FC. Those are in the 4 regular season matches. Neither team getting the better of the other. Each team with a win and with a pair of draws. And Eder Borelli says, see, ref? Moreno left a little extra in for me.
Looks like Armando Moreno's having to go off to get some treatment. Possibly a cut that the referee's having him get treated and looked at.
So, again, a man short as Locomotive FC ready to go back to work. Rebellon. Played back for him by Gomez. Borelli to Gomez. Great work. Gomez, top of the box, but it instead finds Weehan. Trapped. Rebellon and Gomez getting the ball back. Waiting for it. Carrijo doesn't get there right into clear. King with a touch. Left tantalizingly. Nobody in white saw it in time. Ryan, though, right back to work. Locomotive FC, lots of pressure. Borelli skies this one to the far post. Yearwood might have thought about just letting that one go out. He'll keep it in play. Tenari. New Mexico United sets it up. Here's Moreno from Sandoval, and Yuma takes him down, no call. Moreno right back up, but delivers a slow cross that Borelli chips out.
A chaotic couple of minutes here. Ball playing a little bit of, almost a little ping pong match.
It has been bouncing around tonight. Guzman. Yearwood. Tenari. Sandoval. Trying to work something up that left wing. Give it back to the big man from Norman, who puts it over Borelli's head, out to Bruce, right wing. Bruce. Deflected by Borelli, in touch for United.
A bit of patience from New Mexico United, taking their time.
Or trying to anyway. Here's Ryden. Ryden will put his foot through it, and it's wide. Our referees tonight, or our referee is John Freeman, the assistant referee Jeffrey Schwartzel, and Jennifer Garner, I should say. Our fourth official, Isaiah Vlad.
Not the actress, Jennifer Gardner.
No. She's not the center ref, so she can't say what's in your wallet.
I can't go get an autograph after the match.
No.
And although we talked about these two teams facing each other so often this season, however, it almost feels like a new match because of how New Mexico United is coming out. It's a different look than El Paso is used to. So, it's something that the coaching staff had prepared for. Had several conversations with them during the course of the week, and the 3-4-3 was something that they expected from New Mexico United. They hadn't seen it yet so far in 2020, but New Mexico United has shown this look and has come out with this look a couple of times.
Out of the back, it'll bounce. Weehan can't control, and a goal kick for Logan Ketterer. Good thought. And that's what they're trying to do. Get an opportunity to bounce one out of the midfield. Chris Weehan ready to receive, but did not have the touch to bring it down.
And immediately after that, you see Yuma and Logan Ketterer have a little conversation. Just with that much air on the ball, got to be able to communicate and come retrieve that. Yuma feeling like Logan Ketterer should have came out to deal with that. Logan Ketterer feeling like he didn't have time to come out to deal with that. So they just got to communicate and make sure they take care of those moments and balls in that situation.
Things have quieted down on that left wing, but Gomez ready to go back to work. He draws a crowd, gets taken down by Bruce. But more the aggressor was Gomez. Since 1947, Select has been the official ball supplier. Soccer ball quality and innovation. Select, the supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe and around the world. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Let's take a look at the Texas Tech Health Report. And it is really amazing. Locomotive FC is in this position. Andrew Fox is out. Omar Salgado, Chiro Ntoko, both with torn ACLs. They're done for the season. Absolute tent poles for this Locomotive FC in the back and in the front, Michael.
Yeah, when you lose key players like that, key starters, makes it hard for you. However, players have stepped up. You've been able to include players like Leandro Carrillo into the lineup, been able to include players like Eder Borelli who have experience. And can't say enough about Brett Coleman when he was here before he returned back to Minnesota United. You were able to bring players on who have experience and can continue the work that those key pieces brought to the lineup. So while it was a little disappointing to lose key players in the lineup, you had guys that were able to fill their spots with ease.
Long ball out of the back. Suggs Sandoval blazes it over out of nothing. New Mexico United. Quick strike, but Sandoval could not keep it down. What a touch, though, by Josh Suggs to cross that ball in.
That's the second time we've seen New Mexico United look to go over the top against El Paso.
Locomotive trying to do the same thing, but the ball was out. And here's Bruce. In the other Western Conference semifinal, it is 2-1, headed to halftime at Greater Nevada Field to Reno. 1868. Corey Herzog scoring, as he has been wont to do this season. Red hot is he. Kevon Frater. Kevin Partida also scoring for Reno. Kevon Lambert, my apologies, for Phoenix Rising FC. Tallying for their respective teams, but 2-1 to Reno. Taken away. Good positioning by Chaparrera, who draws a double team. Slow roller. Does not find the mark. Guzman. Not connecting on that one. Gomez. Maris and Ryan. Herrera. Maka King, a little too slow. King upset that wasn't fast enough, I don't think. And referee John Freeman says, a little further back, if you please, Mr. King.
And I think referee John Freeman just bailed out New Mexico United. I don't think it was too far off from where Maka King threw the ball in. However, he pulls it back and gives New Mexico United a chance to get set up and get into their block of 5 in the back and 4 in the midfield.
Carrillo, good play back to Herrera. Goes down, no foul on Tenari. King, far post. Gomez nods it back in, looking for a handball, won't happen. Chipped up by Moreno. Played into space. Sandoval trying to run it down. And that'll be a foul on Devin Sandoval as Mishak Jerome draws the contact.
And that's a hard one for referee to call. Josiano Gomez does well to head that, try to get it back into the mix.
Carrillo gets ahead to that, trying to find Gomez. It's win or go home. The USL Championship playoffs continuing. Be a part of the conversation. Watch every match, every goal, every save, and every celebration on ESPN Plus, all the way to the USL Championship final. November 1st, 6:30 p.m. on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. That's right, the mothership will have the championship. Good work by Hamilton to keep that away from the fleet feet of Aaron Gomez. Weehan. Nice scoot to get away from King. Weehan, always dangerous when you let him have some real estate. Here's Suggs. Long cross to Bruce.
That's well done from the Locomotive to get back defensively and kill that counter opportunity from New Mexico United. Good read again from Brian Rebellon.
Good spell of possession here for United. Right. Tenari lofts one. Kings on it. United with 52% of the possession so far. Sandoval all the way to the corner. Chapa Herrera gets a touch. Goal kick. Great work by Herrera.
That's well done from Chapa Herrera to pester Devin Sandoval, force him into a tight space. Be smart enough not to get too close where he can get the ball hit off of him for a corner kick. Forcing Devin Sandoval to dribble over the end line. Earns the Locomotive a goal kick.
There you see Logan Ketterer. 8 clean sheets to lead the USL Championship this season. Finished with 4 in a row. Did not, and I think he'd be the first to say, have the best of matches versus FC Tulsa last week, but boy, was he clutch when it counted. With that penalty stop in penalties. And once again, a man known for stopping those PKs. Did exactly what he was here to do. 5 of 11 stops in season for Logan Ketterer on penalties from the spot. He was almost unstoppable last season. Say 4 of 5. This season 1 of 5, but still, that's the best percentage over 2 seasons in the USL Championship for 4 years. He's only been here 2.
There's really good patience from the Locomotive. They've got to find a way to find the weak side of their diamond, whether that's Chapa Herrera or whether that's Brian Rebellon.
Carrijo. Throw in for United. And here's Weehan. Suggs. Gets loose, chips a nice one. King catches a piece, and it'll bounce straight to Rebellon. Borelli to Gomez. Gomez will get that one touched. Out to New Mexico. Bruce. Low driving cross, Yuma. Rebellon. Handball and a free kick given in a dangerous spot. Rebellon had it bounce up on him. Juan Pablo Guzman.
These set-piece moments are something that Coach Marlari and his staff talked about during the week. They want to make sure that they defend the first ball well, get it out of danger, and then anticipate and be ready for the second ball. Sometimes it's not that first one that beats you. It's the second one that you're not ready for and you're not stepping up to deal with. So a big point of emphasis for them over the course of the week was making sure we deal with the first ball, but also be ready for that second one.
Weehan. Rolled, missed. Moreno will have it. Out for a New Mexico throw. Maris tried to slide in front, couldn't get a piece of it.
That's well defended from Chapa Herrera, just staying alert, staying keyed in. Really important for young players not to switch off on set-piece moments when the ball's dead.
Maris says thank you. But getting it right back again is Tenari over the head of Suggs along that left wing and out for a Locomotive FC throw.
I anticipate at some point we've seen Coach Mark Lowry go to the 4-2-3-1 late in second halves. I anticipate that he might be going to that a little earlier, maybe at halftime. They've got to find a way to get the ball into Leandro Carrillo, have him hold the ball up and draw players into the attack.
You're right, he really hasn't received the ball at all in any advanced position. Had to come back and help a couple of times, nodded things back into play. Certainly helping Locomotive FC's possession game, but they want him on the end of stuff. Here's Moreno. Slips by Rebellon, slips by Yuma. Can't get by Richie Ryan. Gomez, Maris will have a go into the back net. Dylan Maris curls in a beauty. 1-0 Locomotive in the 30th minute. Maris with an absolute pearl.
And that's a great goal from Dylan Maris. Some poor defending from Sam Hamilton and Kalen Ryden, not communicating who's going to step to Jose Aaron Gomez and who's going to pick up Dylan Maris. Eventually, the wrong person steps. Dylan Maris finds himself open, picks up the ball, takes a touch to his favorite right foot, and curls it towards that back post. A great goal for Dylan Maris.
Dylan Maris with his 5th goal in a Locomotive FC uniform to go with his 5 assists. And we go to the Hydro Flask hydration break after this one. What a way to get a break to go catch some water. 30th minute goal, and Mark Lowry masked up on the sidelines. Dylan Maris with goal number 5 in an absolute clutch moment. And Locomotive FC draws first blood. Let's take a look at the USL Championship playoff bracket as we enter our Hydro Flask hydration break. Up in the east, head to that top corner, Louisville City. Moving on, along with St. Louis FC, who got to continue their season today, playing at Lynn Family Stadium. That is the top half of the bracket. In the bottom half, Charleston Battery, something of an upset over Charlotte Independence. Tampa Bay Rowdies, as you might imagine, able to slip by Birmingham Legion. They are playing in the Eastern Conference semifinals today. To the top half of the West, Reno 1868 taking on Phoenix Rising, as Rising and Reno able to advance. And then, of course, right here in El Paso, along with New Mexico United, we're in the Western Conference semifinals here tonight. Reno 1868 leading Phoenix Rising FC at the half, 2-1 at Greater Nevada Field. And they have been an offensive juggernaut, has Reno 1868 FC this season, Michael.
And that's definitely a crucial match, a very important match between two key, very good teams in Reno and Phoenix. However, this game here in El Paso got two good teams playing in it as well, and a great goal from Dylan Maris right before that hydration break. I'm sure that's not going to change much of what Coach Mark Lowry is going to had to say or prepared to say at the hydration break.
Carrijo tries to get in there, Ryden just calmly steps by. The Hospitals of Providence goal, Dylan Maris in the 30th minute, his 5th of the season for Locomotive FC. Curling in a beauty. The left side of the area. United trying to respond, but Yuma drawing the contact again and earning a foul. Armando Moreno. Eder Borelli. drawing the attention of John Freeman, our referee.
John Freeman's letting him know it's only the first half, no wasting of time. Yeah, Borelli's beating his case, claiming that he's only tossing it closer to Logan Ketterer.
Gomez around his man again. Aron Gomez finds the edge all the way up top, and it's almost an own goal. They want a handball. Mizell and Suggs, no foul call. Right along the edge, Suggs and Mizell keeping it out of the back of the net. They want a handball is what they want. Did it jump up on Suggs? No. And it did not cross the line. That is a good no call.
Just on the line. Referee ref Jennifer Gardner is in a great spot to look across the line and see that. Kept her flag down, and rightfully so.
Maris into the middle, headed out cleanly. Sent right back again by Yuma. And it's out for a corner kick. Good work by Yuma to be on the spot. He doesn't score often. As a matter of fact, I think he only has one goal in a Locomotive FC uniform, but he can arrive and put his foot through it. Chick-fil-A corner kick, though, for Dylan Maris. Far post. Headed out by Yearwood. Borelli. Jerome. Out of the back looking for Rebellon. The run a bit late. Goal kick coming. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allowing clubs from across the USL to build a pathway to pro soccer, bringing together top local youth talent. Following the success of the first Academy Cup events, clubs can now apply to participate in the Academy League. USL Academy League will kick off spring of next year. More information, usl-academy.com, or search hashtag USL Academy on social media. Here in El Paso, eplocomotivefc.com/academy.
On that last attempt, Josh Suggs is going to be very thankful that that didn't go in the back of the net. The 3-2 game here where El Paso got the victory. He was responsible for the second goal for El Paso on the own goal. Trying to clear with his weaker right foot, turn it into the back of the net. So he's going to be glad that that one didn't cross the line and he didn't cost New Mexico United another goal against El Paso.
The captain for the Road Warriors trying to respond here in El Paso. Win or go home for both of these teams for the right to face the winner of Rising FC and Reno 1868. Maris with another restart here. Drives this one. Sandoval, easy clearance. And it would have been offside. It is offside. On the road, can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio. Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week along with action from Major League Soccer, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League, which starts back up next week as well. Sirius XM FC, channel 157, on your Sirius XM radio and the Sirius XM app. Happy to be broadcasting both to El Paso with your El Paso Las Cruces CW and back to Albuquerque on Estrella TV. That one's well knotted. Rebellon's going to try to get there. Challenged by Hamilton, and this is going to produce yellow. Rebellon. The big Coloradoan taking down Rebellon, who always seems to come up the worse for wear, and receives the physical yellow card in the 38th minute.
Sam Hamilton just getting there very late. Had no chance to get to that ball. Had to slow down Brian Rebellon. Well done from the Locomotive. Going side to side, switching the play real quick with bigger balls. Not so much on the ground, but really looking to exploit New Mexico United on the outsides with Chris Weehan and Amando Moreno tucked in.
And here's Maris, the delivery, far post. Right and easy clearance. Chaparrera trying to scuff one back in. "15 cautions issued to Locomotive FC, physical yellow cards, over the 5 matches thus far, 10 for New Mexico United. That was coming into tonight. The first caution drawn by Sam Hamilton in the 38th minute. As you might expect, these two teams like to get after each other. Fans of both of these teams would have it no other way. Quick throw in. Out of the back, Carrijo trying to get there, but the throw doesn't make it. Sandoval does well to keep it in play. $1,600 plus on hand at Southwest University Park tonight. Everybody socially distanced, keeping those masks on. Positive cases up in El Paso as well as in the Land of Enchantment, which has kept New Mexico United on the road this entire season. So everybody keep those masks on, wash your hands, stay safe by all means. Rebellon was not in play when he headed that ball. Locomotive FC leading 1-0 on the back of Dylan Maris's 30th minute goal. And Michael, what might change for both of these teams through the rest of this half and into the second?
I think at 1-0, you're not going to see too much change for either team in terms of formation or in terms of how they're set up. I think for New Mexico United, you'll probably see Troy Lassane emphasize finding Chris Weehan and Amanda Moreno a little bit more in those pockets, having them play a little closer to the outside backs of El Paso in Eder Borelli and Maca King. Can they play closer to those guys and create 2v1s with Josh Suggs and Daniel Bruce? That's the key to playing a 3-4-3. Those overloads on the outsides between those two players. Can they isolate the outside backs of El Paso? For El Paso is, can they keep possession, continue to switch it side to side when they win it? They've done a good job to find Chaparrera and Brian Rebellon in attack. Can they continue to do that?
Earwood blazes one over the top out of the back. Bruce not able to get there in time, and a goal kick for Logan Ketterer.
You see Richie Ryan applauds the effort defensively from the Locomotive. They've done well to keep everything in front of them. A lot of credit has to be given to the work rate and the effort of Chaparrera and Brian Rebellon. Very hard to defend a 3-4-3. However, if you don't have players who are willing to work and get out and do two jobs, Chaparrera and Brian Rebellon do a really good job of clogging up the midfield, but then getting out to the wing backs of New Mexico United.
Carrijo, some fancy footwork, 1 against 3. Yuma. Rebellon back to the Spanish captain. Usually the number 6 or part of that double pivot for Locomotive FC, but has had to fill in the absence of Chiro and Toko. Again, hard to overestimate how much of a loss the big team captain and his injury have been for this Locomotive FC squad. That, along with Omar Salgado, both ACL injuries. Andrew Fox has been out. Nick Ross is on the bench, but he was out for injury for an extended spell. These are the tent poles of what Mark Lowry wants to do for this Locomotive FC squad.
Yeah, those are definitely key losses for the Locomotive. They've been able to fill out and replace Chiro and Toko a little bit. However, it's the loss to Omar Salgado for me. That's probably the biggest one because of how well he was playing. But Ed Boleri has stepped in and done well in the absence of Andrew Fox.
We're hearing there'll be 3 minutes of Jarrito stoppage time as Richie Ryan draws the contact. How about Richie Ryan and Yuma? Yuma celebrating his 35th birthday. Ryan's already there. Locomotive FC with one of the oldest lineups in the USL Championship. And both of those guys won 120 plus penalties. Richie Ryan, watching him take that penalty, which you saw pregame, you'd never know he'd been on the field the entire way.
That's just the quality of both of those players. They'll both be the first to admit to you might not have the springs in their legs like they did when they were in their 20s. The brain is, if anything, sharper than it was when they were in their 20s, so they're not required to move as much and run as much because their brain works is twice as fast.
Both of those guys should be allowed to play as long as they want. Into the first of 3 minutes of stoppage time, Jarrito stoppage time here in El Paso. Locomotive FC, Dylan Maris with a 30th minute goal to give the home team a 1-0 lead. Bruce trying to play that quickly. Sound the ball a little high. And it's really amusing to watch a Locomotive FC practice. 3 or 4 different languages, French, Spanish, English, heavily accented English. You've got all sorts of dialects going on, but in the end, they know what Mark Lowry wants to see. That one gets away from Carrijo for a United throw.
And as Nick Ross said, obviously you have the 3 languages. You have the primary language, English, Spanish, French, and then you have some Scottish in there as well.
Truth. The Scottish brogue, the Irish brogue, things happen. Here's Suggs. Good challenge, gets by. Ketterer, easy handle.
That's well done from Logan Ketterer. Well defended from Maka King, just keeping Josh Suggs in front of him. Not giving him enough space to get a good service. Whipping a quality serve.
Well, the professionals certainly make it look easy, but Michael, when things get a little hairy, as Gomez will win that ball. At your back line, how important is it to have communication and to know each player what their role is going to be, especially because the keeper's going to call it out. It's mine, it's mine. Or somebody else steps up and says, I have it. That is some nervy time, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Those guys being on the same page, communicating.
Certainly the professionals make it look easy, but it isn't. Chaperera controls. United can't clear it out. Here's King. The Englishman back to Richie Ryan. And that's going to do it for the first half. 1-0 at the half as Dylan Maris lifts Locomotive FC to the lead here at Southwest University Park. And a pretty solid half for the hosts as Dylan Maris from the edge of the 18-yard box. His 5th goal for Locomotive FC this season, giving the home side the lead in front of the hometown fans. We'll be back with halftime stats, a look at the highlights, and plenty more as we continue. The GECU halftime show is next.
We're not in the banking business. We don't sell property and casualty insurance. We don't make mortgage loans. We're not land developers. We're in the title business. And title is what we do. That's what we eat and breathe.
I always dream of being a software developer.
She aspires to be an artist.
I promised myself more time for my green thumb.
I promise to never let fear get in my way.
GECU can help you make small efforts today that can lead to big things tomorrow, so you can ask yourself, what's next for me?
During these uncertain times, planning ahead has never been more important, which is why no one should be without this important document, a will. A will is a legal document that ensures your loved ones understand your final wishes clearly and precisely. At Zant Law Firm, we'll help you start making an estate plan today so that when the unexpected happens, your intentions are met and your family is protected. And as always, you can visit our office or we can bring our mobile office to you. And contactless transactions are also available. Because your final wishes deserve to be carried out. Call Zant Law Firm today.
At Casa Ford, we're getting ready for Halloween the only way we know how. By carving up big discounts on our entire inventory. Our savings are so good, it's scary.
Right now, get a 2020 F-150 XLT for only $36,570.
Are you a pumpkin artist? Then you could win a free HD TV. Just post a pic of your jack-o'-lantern on Facebook, and we'll announce the winners on Halloween. Only at El Paso's #1 Ford dealer. Casa Ford, home of the nice guys. Yeah!
When we opened our doors 20 years ago, we had one goal in mind, to be the only title company our fellow El Pasoans would ever need.
You made us El Paso's #1 title company, and for that, we thank you.
We want to be your title company.
It's now time for the GECU halftime show.
Welcome to the GECU halftime show. The score at half is El Paso Locomotive 1, New Mexico United 0. And now we want to recognize tonight's Hospital of Province employee highlight. Vanessa Quinteros is a dedicated nurse in the emergency department at the Hospital of Province Sierra campus. During times of stress or worry, Vanessa is a calm face and voice to each of her patients. She also makes it her goal to take her time with each patient to explain the plan for care they will be provided. Thank you, Vanessa, for your difference you make in the lives of your patients and your compassionate care you provide each day. At halftime, again, your score is El Paso Locomotive 1, New Mexico United 0. The GECU halftime show continues after this break.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ime from Black Arrow FC. We're back with episode 2 of our new show with the USL and the Black Players Alliance. Just in case you missed our first episode, this show is not just about soccer. It's about the work done on and off the field, especially in the communities, and the same communities that support the growth of the game right here in America. And that's why Black Arrow is working directly with the USL and the Black Players Alliance to make sure that we highlight and share these stories from our community. One of those communities that we want to highlight this week supports one of the USL's newest franchises, Legion FC. If you haven't heard about the Legion, no worries. Black Arrow, we got you covered. Outside of being one of the freshest and newest franchises in the USL, what really makes the Legion FC special is the fact that they play in one of the most historical and pivotal cities in the civil rights movement, Birmingham, Alabama. So right now, we're going to take you down south to Birmingham, Alabama, and tell you a story about a community and a movement that is taking place right now. We'll also talk about some of the interesting things going on within the USL and how they're supporting the Black community and soccer fans alike.
Knowing the role sports plays and myself growing up playing soccer, or should I say football, it allowed me to be introduced to different ideologies. The cultures were different, the communities were different, but we had one common goal, which was winning. Partnering with the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute transitions your team to a family. So we are excited that Legion FC can be the example. We look forward to expounding upon partnerships such as these, and we look forward to BCRIB being a beacon and a leader in this space as we continue to fight for human and civil rights.
Welcome back to Southwest University Park. Our score at the half, Locomotive FC 1, New Mexico United 0. As we take a look at the playoff bracket here this evening, off in the East, let's take a trip up east. In the top part of that bracket, Louisville City beating Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2-0 to advance to the Eastern Conference semis. Hartford Athletic losing to St. Louis FC. They're amazing. Last season continues 1-0 the score. St. Louis FC getting a winner. And then to the lower half of the bracket, there you see Charleston Battery. That's something of an upset. Tampa Bay Rowdies, that's not an upset, as it is Charleston and Tampa Bay off to the Eastern Conference semifinals, and we'll get some of those scores in a bit. Top half of the West. This is the group, or the part of that group, that the winner of this match will advance to play. This is going to be a road match regardless of who wins here tonight. Reno 1868 currently leading Phoenix Rising 1-0. And there's the bottom half of the bracket as you see Locomotive FC with the win over Tulsa in penalties. Advancing, United had to go to extra time as well, but they got their 101st minute goal to beat San Antonio FC. Let's take a look at the Reno score at Greater Nevada Field. It is now 2-1 in the 64th minute. Corey Herzog scoring the first one for Reno 1868. Kevin Partida gets the second. And Kevon Lambert for Phoenix Rising FC. As good a season as Rising FC has had these last couple of years, still trying to get over the hump, and tonight, an uphill battle against Reno 1868. Off in the East today, we can tell you Louisville City ends St. Louis FC's run, the River Rivalry, the King's Cup, I believe they call this, as both cities named after King Louis of France. 2-0 Louisville F City over St. Louis. They will advance at Lynn Family Stadium to host Tampa Bay Rowdies, 1-0 winners over Charleston Battery. We'll be back with the highlights and a look at other stuff as we continue. The GECU Halftime Show continues right here.
What's the big difference when selecting your roofing professional? From start through inspection to finish.
My roofs don't leak, guaranteed.
Go online or call now at 915-600-0050 and make Lone Star Homes Roofing Systems your professional roofer of choice.
At Casa Nissan, we're dressing up our entire inventory with huge savings.
It's all treats and no tricks with some great-looking offers on every new Nissan.
Nissan drivers can get an Altima with 0% financing for only $20,852.
Are you dressing up this year? Then you could win a free HD TV. Just post a pic in your costume on Facebook, and we'll announce the winners on Halloween.
So come see us and get a sweet deal at Casa Nissan,
where our casa is su casa.
Yeah!
Welcome back to El Paso, Texas. Duke Keith Michael Ballaghan with you from Southwest University Park. Locomotive FC 1-0 over New Mexico United as we take a look at team news. And 2021 season ticket memberships are on sale now. If you are a season ticket member, you receive priority access to playoff tickets. That is available now. If you want more information, eplocmotivefc.com/season tickets. If Locomotive FC can hold serve and advance to the Western Conference Finals, that will be a road match. But we will be bringing it to you right here on your El Paso Las Cruces CW. The Western Conference Final will air on the El Paso Las Cruces CW. Exact times are pending, but keep an eye out for those details at Locomotive FC social media platforms. And, Michael, that should be an awful lot of fun if Locomotive can make it stick over the final 45 minutes here today.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be the second year in a row that they're playing in the Western Conference Final. Obviously, didn't go as planned last year. However, with the way this team is set up this year and with what the coaching staff and the players that they've brought in, they definitely are ready to make a run at that Western Conference Final. However, they've got to finish this game. They got another 45 left, and they've got to finish off New Mexico United.
And big news for the fans, 50% off the entire stock of BLK gear. Purchase online at eplocomotivefc.com or in person at both team shops at Southwest University Park. BLK gear, all of it, 50% off here in El Paso. Once again, we are 1-0 at the half. The big 30th minute goal to get Locomotive FC off the mark. As you might expect from Dylan Maris as we take a look at first half stats, 5 shots to 3. Locomotive FC last week against FC Tulsa, 24 shots. That is one off a championship record set by Rising FC last season, as a matter of fact, against Real Monarchs. 1 shot on target, that was Maris's. That's the one that went in. Couple of blocks as New Mexico United has gotten close, and 1 offside each. Passing accuracy, Locomotive FC just a little bit of an edge, and possession. Locomotive FC had given the possession through the middle part of that first half, Michael. They have gotten it back, and roughly 52 to 48% in favor of the hosts.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we can see, this game is fairly even on both sides. However, it's that one moment, that one opportunity that the Locomotive were able to create, and Dylan Maris was able to put in the back of the net. So that's what it's going to come down to. There's not a lot of difference between those two teams. It's which team can eliminate mistakes and also capitalize on the other team's mistakes.
We'll take a look at those first half highlights when we continue. The GECU halftime show rolls on from El Paso.
When we opened our doors 20 years ago, we had one goal in mind: to be the only title company our fellow El Pasoans would ever need.
You made us El Paso's #1 title company, and for that, we thank you.
We want to be your title company.
Depression and anxiety can paralyze you and affect relationships. You don't have to go through life feeling this way. Hi, I'm Alfredo Arellano, and I want to educate you on transcranial magnetic stimulation, an innovative approach for the treatment of depression and anxiety. TMS resets the brain, opening the channels responsible for mood, concentration, energy, planning, and creativity with virtually no side effects. You deserve a life full of happiness and love. Call or visit us online for a screening. We're committed to healing minds and helping hearts.
I always dream of being a software developer.
She aspires to be an artist.
I promised myself more time for my green thumb.
I promise to never let fear get in my way.
GECU can help you make small efforts today that can lead to big things tomorrow, so you can ask yourself, what's next for me?
The food, the people, the climate, and our company. This is where we're based. This is headquarters. I can't imagine my life living anywhere else. El Paso is our home.
Welcome back to Southwest University Park. Those the flags of the nations represented on the Locomotive FC roster. 1-0 to the hosts here against New Mexico United in the Western Conference semifinals. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. And Aaron Gomez, hard to handle that left wing side. Desperate defending Mizell and Suggs. Dylan Maris. Richie Ryan couldn't get that on frame and is going to get another chance right here Missing on the slide to try and put that one in on frame. And Michael, Locomotive FC certainly the more dangerous team, but Kalen Wrighton and New Mexico United did have some opportunities.
Yeah, they definitely had some opportunities. However, they weren't crazy opportunities that really tested Locomotive. You see that one there with Chris Wehan getting in behind the back line, but not able to get a touch on it. So El Paso has to continue to limit the chances of New Mexico United and also create chances for themselves and put some of those chances on the goal line away.
Dylan Maris with an absolute beauty, curling it in from the left side of the area, just inside the 18. Made a nice move to shift it onto that right foot. So dangerous here at Southwest University Park as we are ready for half number 2. Expanding on your theme, what do you think might change here in the second half? And perhaps more so for the visitors and the hosts, would you not think?
Yeah, immediately we already see the sub at halftime with David Najem coming into the game for Daniel Bruce. Daniel Bruce really had a hard time in that first half dealing with Jose Aaron Gomez 1v1. So we see David Najem come in, and that should give them a little bit better of a matchup against Jose Aaron Gomez. However, for me, for New Mexico United, it's Chris Wien and Amanda Moreno. They've got to play a bit closer to Eder Borelli and Maka King and force those guys to have to pick them up, leaving Josh Suggs and now David Najem open. So it's that change in where those guys, the starting positions of Amanda Moreno and Chris Wien, that New Mexico United has to do a better job of. For El Paso, it's the constant switch. Can they continue to switch the ball from side to side? We saw how well they did when they were able to switch the ball from side to side and create 1v1 moments out wide with Jose Aaron Gomez. Can they continue to do that and isolate those guys out wide?
David Najem does a great job facilitating on the wings. Replacing Bruce to start the second half for Troy Lesesne.
This is a really good opportunity.
Ryan, far post, and it's offside. Let's take a look at our interview with Mark Lowry, Elizabeth Vega.
We're down here on the field with Coach Mark Lowry heading into the second half of tonight's playoff match. Coach, we saw a great goal by Dylan Maris in the first half. How important is it to score first in a match like this?
We always want to score first, and we've got players like Dylan with the ability to do it. It was a great goal. We need to find the second goal now, though.
How do you keep up the intensity on the defensive side, moving into the second half to close out the match?
It's going to be difficult because they're going to come on and press us now. They're going to throw bodies forward. We have to stay disciplined, we have to concentrate, we have to stay focused, and we have to find the second goal.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks very much, Elizabeth. Aaron Gomez taken down by Tenari, drawing another foul for Locomotive FC. But there you heard Mark Lowry not content with 1-0. He wants more. And perhaps against a team like New Mexico United, it's probably good thinking strategically. Hard to keep this United team down. Interesting to note that after the USL Championship restarts, in the 15 matches United played, they scored first in 14 of them. So bounce nicely for Sam Hamilton to head back to Cody Mizell. Not a lot more Mizell could have done about Dylan Maris' shot. The goal in the 30th minute, giving the hosts the advantage. As Moreno. Fronted well by Borelli. Those two have battled all night long. Right in front of the referee, some further admonition for Eder Borelli, who I think has the last warning from John Freeman. Here's Moreno again. And Logan Ketterer with it. One man who was not a whole lot, had not a great deal of involvement in the first half was Leandro Carrijo, Michael, and I would imagine this is somebody Mark Lowry definitely wants to see get the ball in advanced position, scoring his first 2 goals for Locomotive FC.
Yeah, he's definitely an important part of the attack going forward. And we see Eder Borelli get a yellow card from referee Yearwood.
Persistent infringement. So the physical yellow card issued to Eder Borelli in the 50th. And that's something to keep an eye on. Those two have been going back and forth all night.
Absolutely. All form of gamesmanship from Eder Borelli is going to have to be put aside because he is on that yellow card.
Certainly advantage Moreno. Younger, quicker legs. Something to keep an eye on for Mark Lowry. Locomotive FC bouncing the ball around. Najem, first touch of the night for him. But Leandro Carrijo, our Southwest University player profile, with those 2 very important goals, including that one in the 82nd minute, yet another important strike for Locomotive FC after the 80th minute. 4 of the 7 match-winning goals in the regular season scored in the 70th, or after the 80th, I should say. And 3 after the 85th. Locomotive FC out for the final 10 minutes of regulation. Really able to show its mettle this season. That's a gear that was frankly lacking last year, Michael.
Yeah, I can't imagine that there's not another goal in this game.
Gomez would like to score one. Aaron Gomez has that one deflected by Hamilton. Rising FC has tied things up in Reno at Greater Nevada Field. Santi Muar scoring in the 71st minute. Correction, Samuel Asante. And that will be a physical yellow card to Brian Rebellon in the 52nd.
I think that's Aaron Gomez that gets the yellow card.
You're right. It is Aaron.
Steps in front of the quick restart from David Najem. Now that's 2 players on the near left side for the Locomotive on yellow cards. And Eder Borelli and Aaron Gomez. So both players are going to have to be a bit more cautious, especially on the defensive end.
Well taken by Chap Herrera. Trying to slide one through. Hamilton gets it. Herrera, Rebellon, Gomez. It's the foul from Armando Moreno, who will pick up a physical yellow card himself in the 53rd.
And a reckless challenge from Armando Moreno, but a smart move from Aaron Gomez, just getting his body between the ball and the player, recognizing that he's coming full head of steam, protecting the ball. Look, that obviously in slow motion and replay doesn't look as bad, but in real time looked a harder challenge than it did on the replay.
Did look like he got a piece of the ball nicking it, but definitely got a piece of Aaron Gomez. So, a spate of yellow cards.
You've got to love this opportunity for for Richie Ryan. An outswinger.
Ryan to the far post. It's headed out. It'll be a Chick-fil-A corner kick. Suggs gets a noggin to it. Well, congratulations from his goalkeeper. And Dylan Maris will range over to take this one.
I thought Richie Ryan might have overserved that one. Really would have liked to see him drop that right on the 6, even with the back post. Such a dangerous area on an outswinger for the goalkeeper to come out to. With bodies running towards him, he's got to stay on his line.
Low driving cross, and that is booted out of trouble by Suggs. Ishak Jerome. Ketterer will give it a ride. Moreno. Good trap. Dangerous Sandoval. Too much of a handle. Borelli picks his pocket. Chaparrera taken down, earns the contact and the foul. Andrew Tenari. Quick to offer an apology.
That's really, really composed from Chaparrera. That moment acting more like a 12th-year pro than a second-year pro. Dealing with the pressure well, drawing the contact.
Herrera's 24 years old, but this is just his second season of professional soccer. Good work by Rebellon. Good back heel to Borelli. Suggs won't get there. King trying to close in on the space. Suggs will get a touch to it. Throw in for Locomotive FC. Suggs and Yearwood get it out of trouble. Moreno. Great work by Bonetto. Up the left side. Weehan takes a drive. Out on frame, goal kick.
And that's the danger of Chris Weehan just popping up out of nowhere. You see him win the ball on the defensive end in his own 18. And then 10 seconds later, he's getting a shot off on the goal of the Locomotive. He's a tireless worker.
Former New Mexico Lobo. Leading goal scorer for this United team. 7 goals in the season, including the only goal of the match versus favored San Antonio FC. Scuffed and it'll bounce Borelli. Rebellon taken down by Tenari. Locomotive FC, I think, advantage played here. Jerome. Definitely a little more pressure from United, but so far not really able to make Locomotive FC pay. As we saw, though, from Weehan, that can change in a flash.
And both groups really not testing each other in the run of play. Seen some set piece moments from El Paso, but nothing really in the run of play. However, sub pieces are one of the keys to this game. Can one of these two teams take advantage of them?
Guzman. Skipping over Carrico. Yearwood. No entry up the left side, so they'll try up the right. Najem. Sandoval. Tenari will switch it again. Yearwood. And here's Suggs. Moreno. A little closer, dancing around the 18. Chaparrera gets a boot to it, but back to Tenari. Good switch. Najem delivers a dangerous one to the far post, spilled over by Ketterer, and it's going to be a Chick-fil-A corner. Seemed to be a bit of two minds with Maka King back there.
And I think Logan Ketterer thought about letting that go, possibly catching that, obviously trying to avoid that back post and making sure he doesn't hit it and spill it in front of the goal. So having to deal with all of that.
be Suggs to deliver the cross. Maka King and Sandoval being admonished by John Freeman. Low drive. Sandoval up top. Guzman's not going to get there. Yuma, good clearance. Rebellon. Spilled by Guzman. Play on. Gomez. Aron Gomez by Najem. Aron Gomez to the byline. And into the corner. It's a dance. Finally, Yearwood picks it up straight to Gomez. Now Moreno. Rebellon is still down. And finally, play is blown dead by John Freeman. Let's take a look at this one again. The Locomotive FC players surrounding Freeman, who's having none of it. Richie Ryan is all over it, and now a Texas Tech nod to the dock for Ricardo Ruiz.
And Richie Ryan has to consider himself a very fortunate man right now.
Wow.
Not sure if it was intentional or inadvertent, but making contact with referee Yearwood. And you see the referee having a word with him, letting him know that that won't be tolerated. He's got to consider himself very lucky that the referee isn't going into his book or into his pocket to issue a card.
Well, Guzman might be fortunate as well.
And absolutely, definitely should have been a card on Juan Pablo Guzman. However, Richie Ryan is upset that New Mexico United didn't knock the ball out of bounds. However, the referee's explaining to him that you had the possession, you had advantage. That's why I didn't call it back. And New Mexico, rightfully so, didn't need to knock it out of bounds because El Paso played the advantage.
Richie Ryan. Didn't look like he was trying to touch him, but did stand in the referee's way, and John Freeman says, you watch it. Well, New Mexico United, Locomotive FC, it'll be a dropped ball. Rebellon looks ready to come back in. The Texas Tech nod to the dock. And Najem will put it back in play. Long ball out of the back, trying to get there, Sandoval. Goal kick. They're into stoppage time at Greater Nevada Field at Reno 1868 FC, Phoenix Rising FC. Still notched at 2. Could be playing 30 minutes of overtime. You had to figure Solomon Asante was going to find a way to be heard in that match.
Yeah, he's such a key player for Phoenix Rising. Key players and important players. They always find a way to show up in important games. Obviously, Phoenix is playing without Junior Flemings, who's suspended by the USL. So they're going to need other players to fill in for his absence.
Chop Herrera draws another foul. This one from Andrew Tenari. Locomotive FC certainly content to slow things down, though. You heard Mark Lowry, he wants another goal. A little miscommunication there between Jerome and Yuma. Herrera. Good steal by Sandoval. Weehan plays it into space. Nothing but white shirts around. Borelli. Gomez. Good defending from Hamilton. But here is Herrera. You see Carrijos, they send it right. King, the long cross, in for the header from Gomez, right at Cody Mizell.
That's a really good ball from Maka King. Lofted it towards that back post. And Aaron Gomez timing that well. Getting across his defender.
You can see the Brazilian Carrijo up front. Chaparrera looked like he was about ready to send in the ball and said, no, send it wide. Great bit of teamwork there by Locomotive FC's target forward. Here's Suggs. Long cross, Borelli. It'll be Guzman. And Yearwood. New Mexico United trying to unlock the door. You do get the feeling that this game does have another goal in it, at least. Which team will score that goal? Moreno. Held a bit in check these last few minutes.
See him and Chris Wehan just switch sides. Doing a lot of floating to try to get on the ball, and that's credit again to the work of Brian Rebellon, Chaparrera.
Well won by Maris. Ian Carrijo not able to make anything of it. Off target, Borelli steps in, but Wehan will win it back. Maris, though, slices it away. Ryan has a little space ahead. King. Chapa. Maka King is all over Mishak Jerome for something.
I think he's telling him, gotta drop a little deeper and give him some support. Obviously, Maka King getting pressured by Josh Suggs, not really having an outlet, an escape. Feeling like Mishak Jerome wasn't in position to support him sooner.
Ryan Borelli will try one long out of the back for Gomez. Draws a lot of interest, as he usually does, trying to split the defender. Good work by Hamilton in the end. Fans want a foul. That's not a foul. Here's Yearwood. They are headed to overtime in Reno, Nevada. As you might expect, it's a pretty titanic duel between the two teams at the top of the West from groups A and B. Phoenix Rising FC scoring the tying goal in the 71st minute. Here's Wehan, Tinari, Najem. Andrew Tinari slips by Gomez to the far post. Too long for Suggs and a goal kick.
And a decent spell of possession for New Mexico United there, swinging it side to side, being patient. You're starting to see Chris Wehan and Armando Moreno get involved a little bit more, coming centrally. To almost create a box in that midfield with Guzman and Tinari. Really overloading the central players of El Paso.
And Gomez has blown a shoe, blown a wheel. The referee will stop time to allow Aron to slip on the boots, or boot. Single knot or double knot? Are you a single knot guy, Michael?
Definitely a double knot.
Make sure it stays on, right?
I wasn't a Boy Scout, so my single knots are not as tight. So I need the extra support I can get.
Merit badge, very nice. We'll see if Gomez gets the merit badge for keeping it on the rest of the way. Into the 70th minute here in El Paso, 1-0 Locomotive. The goal scored 40 minutes ago by Dylan Maris. It's the difference so far. Slid in, Carrijo, flag is up. Good work by Herrera, but Carrijo a step ahead of the back line. Moreno on the counter with Sandoval. Guzman and Najem. Suggs ready to challenge to the back line. King seems to be up to the task. And it will be a goal kick. Strike that. It is a Chick-fil-A corner. Last touched by King.
And the Locomotive are very disappointed in that call from the referee. I might have to agree with them. But that went off of Josh Suggs. Should have been a goal kick.
Well, Suggs will deliver the Chick-fil-A corner here. Locomotive FC about ready to bring us up a sub, as is New Mexico United apparently. Suggs. That's over Ryden's head. Hard to do. He's a big fella. But Najem has it. Sends it back. Good work by Mishak Jerome. Only for Suggs, deflected by Gomez. And Maris will send it up the field.
And that's well defended from the Locomotive. You saw them immediately after that second ball went out to David Najem. Every single player from El Paso got up, held their line, and immediately dropped together as a unit when the ball was served. Coaches were definitely cautious of how dangerous.
What a switch by Najem. Out to Suggs. Running at King in the back line. Crosses him back. Gets a little help from Herrera. Out for a throw, and the substitutions now. First for United, coming off the field in the 72nd minute, will be Armando Moreno. His night is done. Had the caution about 20 minutes ago. Replacing him will be Romeo Parks. And for Locomotive FC, looks like they'll have to wait. About ready to bring in Nick Ross.
And I think the Locomotive are holding off to see what New Mexico United does here before they bring on Nick Ross. But with the inclusion of Romeo Parks,
Guzman, Suggs, chip to the far post. Borelli will see this one out for a United throw.
I anticipate that Romeo Parks will go up top with Devin Sandoval, with Chris Rehan dropping in underneath right behind them. But not so much a 3-4-3 anymore, but a 3-5-2 with Chris Rehan at the 10.
And Locomotive FC will have its substitution here in the 73rd. Luis Chapa Herrera, replaced by the Scotsman Nick Ross. Has a goal and an assist this year. But you want to talk about players who play both defensively and offensively. You pretty much can't do that and play for Mark Lowry if you're not willing to check back. Nick Ross, though, one of the best. Sandoval does well to keep it. Najem, Guzman, Yearwood. Chipped in, looking for Sandoval. Not able to connect. Sandoval making a run out of the back. It's just not been very effective. Not necessarily out of the back, but from the pack. And they've just not been able to connect with the big man tonight. Gomez. Mizell first on it. Yearwood finding the big Jamaican out for a Locomotive throw. Part of the Reggae Boys from 2012 to 2015. Romeo Parks. A goal and a helper so far this season for United. Sandoval trying to chip Ketterer. And we will have our Hydro Flask hydration break right now.
And an ambitious effort from Devin Sandoval there. But with 15 minutes left in the game, this is a moment for Coach Mark Lowry to sort of go over what that last 10 minutes will look like for the group. Obviously, right now, New Mexico United is having the better run of possession, better run of play, and that might be the case for the remainder of the match. However, it's how do we stay organized defensively? How do we make sure we don't give up anything? We don't give up a goal late in this game. That's the conversation Coach Mark Lowry's having with his group right now.
Let's take a check of that Phoenix match in overtime at Greater Nevada Field. It is 2-2 just underway. First of the two mandatory 15-minute overtime sessions in Reno, still notched at deuces between 1868 FC and Rising FC. Let's take a look at the scenarios for what might happen if Locomotive FC does get to the final. They will travel to Reno and Phoenix. If El Paso advances tonight, the match will air on your El Paso Las Cruces CW. If you want social media updates on start times and more, check the Locomotive social media and follow along at EP Locomotive FC. Also, EPLocomotiveFC.com. We will look forward to bringing that to you if Locomotive FC can hold serve over the final 15 minutes plus stoppage time, roughly. United throw. Parks. Romeo Parks keeps his ground. Taken out by Yuma, and that is going to be a free kick in a dangerous spot.
That's well done by the big Jamaican, holding off back at King, driving at that back line of the Locomotive, getting an opportunity for a set piece. The big body as well, so now they've got multiple big bodies in there. Romeo Parks, Devin Sandoval, Josh Suggs, Kalen Ryden, Sam Hamilton. Locomotive are going to have to be really sharp on this free kick to make sure they don't give up a goal here.
Weehan will go for a goal himself, straight to Ketterer. Little rub of the head for good luck from Yuma. Bessos. Logan Ketterer sends that one long. Gomez been double teamed pretty much any time he's touched the ball when when United has been able to bring the numbers. Here's Tenari. Good stick by Ryan. Hamilton, Ryden. He's done such a fine job for United coming over from the Western Conference champions and USL champions last year. Real Monarchs SLC. Najem, long ball just out of the reach of Sandoval. What vision, though, from David Najem. That's as dangerous as United has looked tonight. And it came from nothing.
I think Devin Sandoval might have just saved the goal for El Paso because Romeo Parks had a better angle at that and was in a better position to put that in. If he had left that, could Romeo Parks had tapped that into the back of the net? A great ball from Devin Najem, it's something that the Locomotive are going to have to be aware of now.
We talked about his creativity from the wings. There you saw it. 28-year-old from Clifton, New Jersey. United with possession again. Into the 80th minute we go in El Paso, Texas. So far, Dylan Maris' 30th minute strike has stood up. But United certainly a good spell of possession here. Ryden out of the back, flag is up. Not able to connect anyway.
Well done by the back line for the Locomotive, holding their line, not dropping with Josh Suggs. Again, with 10 minutes left in the game, can the Locomotive find a way to get some possession? Having to defend for the remainder of this game is a tall task.
Well, it's interesting, Logan Ketterer and Locomotive FC, clearly the word from the coaching staff, just play it up the field. Nothing out of the back, send it long. .67% of the ball for United this half. United. Great ball from Maris to Gomez. Gomez shot parried away by Mizell. Chick-fil-A corner coming.
That's well done from Dylan Maris and Jose Aron Gomez. We've seen those two combined plenty of times this year. Not a real option on goal there for Aron Gomez. Just trying to go as hard as possible to that near post, high near post. He earns a corner kick from the Locomotive and a chance to get a second one and put this a little further out of reach for New Mexico.
Richie Ryan to deliver the Chick-fil-A corner here for El Paso. Richie doesn't like the sound right there. Headed out by Ryden. Ross on the far side. Here's Jerome over the top. Rebellon's going to get a piece. It'll bounce for him. Maris chesting it down. Ryan. Gomez and Maris. Maris will switch it to King. Far post drive. Headed out by Hamilton. Ryan, though. Maris, top of the area, trying to dangle, and Weehan gets it out of trouble. And good intervention there by Eder Borelli. Weehan was about to go off to the races. This ball will be escorted out by Yuma for a Locomotive throw. And it is Maris who is down. Texas Tech nod to the dock. Ricardo Ruiz on to take a look.
Like he's grabbing that left ankle.
Oh dear. Locomotive FC's goal scorer.
Hope it's nothing serious. Just needing a breather and he can finish out this game. Such an important part of the Locomotive attack. That magic spray.
The magic spray. What's in that magic spray? I've always wanted to know. Having never played at a level where a trainer had to come out and give me magic spray my junior high career.
I have no idea what it is, but it's cold.
Well, Dylan Maris up under his own steam, but just had to take a seat. Ready to come back in, it appears, and is waved on by John Freeman. Good sliding tackle by Rebellon. They were waiting to see advantage played, and the free kick is given. Quick restart. Here's Najem. Tenari overlaps. Tenari stopped by Ryan. Bounces nicely for the Irishman. Sends it up the wing to Gomez, and that's a throw-in. '85th minute, desperation time for United. Troy Lesesne's men trying to keep the season alive, but they must equalize in the next 5+ stoppage time. That is a miscommunication. Tenari and Hamilton, it'll go out for a Locomotive throw, although very deep. Here's Hamilton. Hamilton, pocket picked by Ryan. Rebellon on the run from Maris. Rebellon gets it up to Gomez, a little wide. Can Gomez get back in time? He cannot.
One back.
Take this opportunity to congratulate Troy and Amanda Lesesne on the birth of their young'un in Albuquerque, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Congratulations to Troy Lesesne and his wife. Meeting his wife, playing in the Charlotte Soccer Academy while he was there playing for Battery. Work by Weehan to send it back for Sandoval, trying to wind up, but Yuma has other ideas. Kept out of trouble by Ross, but not out of trouble yet. Ketterer puts his foot through it.
A nervy couple of seconds there for the Locomotive.
But when things get wild, as we were talking about in the first half, communication is key. So far, so good for Locomotive. Locomotive FC about ready to bring on a couple of players. Moses Makinde and Saeed Robinson. Suggs into the middle right and trying to get there. Sandoval does, back to the net though. Tenari can't scoot it forward far enough. Jerome the clearance. Play on. Najem. Weehan. Guzman. Najem sets it up. Delivers one all the way across. Trying to bring it down. Taken down to the box. No foul. Ryden wanted the foul called. John Freeman says you're just too big for that to happen right there. Makinde and Saeed Robinson coming on now.
And a good call from the referee, recognizing that there wasn't much in that challenge. She's definitely looking for the foul, looking for some sort of contact. And we see Kaylin Ryden going up to join the front three of New Mexico. So you can expect some more service into the box. You've got Moses Makinde coming into the lineup to give them some more defensive assurance. Brian Rebellon going into the back line.
Aaron Gomez and Leandro Carrijo's nights are done. Makinde and Saeed Robinson to finish things out here in the 89th minute. Tenari dangling. Suggs forced to go back though. Here's Hamilton. Rebellon firmly meets that. Guzman, fellow Colombian. To bring it down, here's Tenari. Najem. Good work by Weehan to dodge the block from Borelli. Guzman trying to pinch in. Good dummy by Tenari. Najem into the middle, punched away Ketterer. Maris takes his seat, delivers the ball out wide to Rebellon. Saeed Robinson speed to run out of the back. Trying to nod one forward for Makinde, who's playing way up. Here's Parks. Shakes off Ryan's challenge, but that will be a foul. Whistled on Locomotive FC. Waiting to see advantage.
This is a dangerous one in a dangerous area.
And it's Weehan on the quick restart. Far post, Rebellon gets it. Chick-fil-A corner kick. We're getting word there will be 6 minutes of Arrito stoppage time. You had the water break, extended session for Dylan Maris. Rebellon back up under his own steam. 6 minutes of Arrito stoppage time. Here's Weehan on the restart. Flies one far post, an easy grab for Logan Ketterer. Who will, I'm sure, take his time to put this one back in.
That's well done from Logan Ketterer. Sure hands. Saw him last week. Have some trouble off his line. But he's been much better tonight.
And again, Locomotive FC not dallying with any playing out of the back. Good work here, Makinde. Maris has an opening. We'll go a little wider. Robinson. The back heel. All for naught. Into the second minute of 6, Arrito stoppage time. Tenari, Parks, good chip for Weehan. Sandoval. Parks knocking it for Suggs on the far side. In it comes, Sandoval bleeds that header wide. United throwing everything they can forward here. The Road Warriors held in check so far tonight.
Locomotive are making it difficult for them to get chances on frame. Everything for New Mexico right now is coming off of crosses in wide areas. But the Locomotive have done well with those. They've picked up their marks. They've won the first ball and defended the second ones very well.
Into the third minute of 6 in Arrito stoppage time. Najem. Throw in for Locomotive FC, and a substitution coming on for Locomotive FC. Dylan Maris' night is done. Coming on for him will be Matt Boehner. First we've seen of the former St. Louis FC star in a couple of months.
This is another defensive substitution to get another defensive body in there. A center back can win balls and challenge those service into the box by New Mexico United. We see him slotting immediately in between Yuma and Meshach Jerome.
Boehner, the 30-year-old out of Westchester, Ohio. 94th minute of Arrito's stoppage time, or the 4th minute, I should say.
New Mexico's got to be a little disappointed in the last minute or so. Sloppy play.
Well, you can't just let it go out for El Paso throw-ins. Trying to move the ball forward. Dylan Maris gets to walk right in front of 8th notch. Here's Tenari. From the back, Hamilton. Upfield, Ketterer can't get there, but Maka King is there. And now to Makinde. trying to go run this one down and keep it in play. He does not. Throw in. Najem quickly. Guzman. 2 balls in the field at once. With the second well behind the play. Weehan dangling. Parks will tee it up. Shot. Scores! Romeo Parks in the final minute of Jarrito stoppage time makes it a 1-1 game. And nothing Logan Ketterer could have done about it.
And he hits that from a long way out. I don't think Logan Ketterer was expecting him to have a shot on goal, and he takes that very well, goes through a few bodies and ends up in the bottom corner.
In the final minute of Jarrito stoppage time, call it a good 25 yards off the byline.
And immediately Logan Ketterer is talking to the guys in front of him, saying you have to step and not allow free shots like that.
Here's Makinde looking for Robinson. Back to Najem and Guzman. How much longer will John Freeman let this go before he blows it dead and we head to overtime? Throw in coming for Locomotive FC. And that's it. A foul called. My apologies.
And a set-piece opportunity for El Paso with all the big bodies that they've just put in, all the defensive players, Matt Boehner, Moses Makinde. Can they get something here and not allow this to go into overtime?
It'll be Ryan. Swings it in, far post, headed out. And that will be the final whistle. Ryden gets the last touch. We are headed to 2 mandatory 15-minute overtime periods in El Paso. Each team will get an extra substitution if they want it, extra substitution opportunity. But Mark Lowry has to be scratching his head for Troy Lesane and New Mexico United. The Road Warriors continue.
And I think it's got to be a little disappointing for Coach Mark Lowry. We really wanted to see that half out, and with all the defensive substitution, all the defensive players he brought on, Moses Makinde, Matt Boehner, where does he get the attack going now in this extra time period?
Well, in Locomotive FC, with all sorts of defense on the field, they have taken out their 2 forwards, Aaron Gomez and Leandro Carrijo. And for Mark Lowry, Dylan Maris is off the field as well. Where does the attack come from?
And I think the good news, he still has the likes of Guillermo Diaz, Memo Diaz on the bench that can come in and give them something going forward. He still has this Del Zolo that can come in and give them something going forward. However, there's not a lot of attacking options with Leandro Carrillo and Jose Aaron Gomez out of this match.
Let's take a look at some of the second half highlights. Maka King gets that one to Gomez, steered right in on Mizell though. But here is Romeo Parks. You can see it looks like Ketterer slightly screened off on that, but still, what a strike from the Jamaican.
That's a great strike from Romeo Parks. Very little Logan Ketterer can do about that. Goes through a few bodies of, there's 10 players in front of him, finds a way to go through all 10 players and perfectly goes into that bottom corner. Very difficult for a goalkeeper to see that through the bodies and get to it and make a save. But he's got to regroup. The players in front of him have to regroup, and they've got to try to get going and get something in the attack.
One of the last strikes of regulation. And Romeo Parks probably will not score a more timely goal than that one in basically the 96th minute. So 2 mandatory 15-minute overtime periods. And if we're still notched for a second straight week, Locomotive FC will head to penalties. United playing 120 minutes last weekend as well versus San Antonio FC, the difference being Chris Wehan's goal in the 101st. The Road Warriors keeping hope alive here in El Paso.
Just, as both teams walk out and get ready for this extra time period, just the body language in both teams. The Locomotive have to shake off that late goal and get ready for this extra time period.
King earns the foul. Romeo Park saying, I didn't do it. Well, Nick Ross, he scored a goal for Locomotive FC. And then Borelli scored. Winger to winger from Guillermo Memo Diaz, who is on the bench. It'll be Borelli who puts this into play. Floats one. Makinde didn't touch it. Looks like Yearwood did. It'll be a Chick-fil-A corner kick, and Richie Ryan comes over to take it.
And these set-piece moments are going to be crucial for El Paso. They've got some big bodies in there. They've added some players, some big defensive players. Can they take advantage of these set-piece moments, whether they're corner kicks or free kicks, and get a goal?
Ryan, driver, Makinde. Foul in the box.
Looks like the Locomotive have gone back to the traditional back four. Almost a 4-1-4-1. Brian Rebillon playing in front of Nick Ross and Richie Ryan.
Looks like Boehner is out on the right wing. Yuma and Jerome back into the middle.
Yeah, it looks like Matt Boehner has slid into that right back position. Pushing Maka King a little further up.
Maka King has shown the ability to get forward. Good switch. Suggs. Guzman. Ryan slides right in front of Wehan to take that one away. Rebellon can't keep a hold of it. Back to Suggs. Suggs. Handled by Jerome, but the ball goes up. Sandoval will nod it back. Rebellon out of trouble. Tenari. Najem, who's provided some quality service in that wing since subbing in. Coming on at halftime. Here's Tenari. To Parks. Yuma holds his ground. Parks just misses wide.
And he hasn't touched the ball much in this second since he's come on, but Romeo Parks has definitely shown that he's a dangerous player. Very smooth and comfortable on the ball. You see him try to curl that towards that back post, and Mishak Jerome does well to get out of the way and move his hand out of the way. But it could have been some trouble there for El Paso if Mishak Jerome didn't think quick enough to get his hand out of the way.
Logan Ketterer. Good bounce. Sandoval will run it down. Waits for help. Tenari, Najem. Tenari lofts one. Ketterer, big grab. Looking for Suggs at far post. Ketterer makes sure it doesn't get there. Well, you had to expect that these two teams playing in the 5th and final match between the two this season would have to add a plot twist before it was all over. And indeed, in the 96th minute, Romeo Parks and New Mexico United did just that. And there was another goal in regulation, wasn't there?
We said there would be at least, there's a chance for another goal in this game.
Weehan, Parks, well played into the middle. Morelli, Weehan, just over. Goal kick.
And Romeo Parks is starting to bring on those quick combinations that we're used to. Armando Moreno bring into the New Mexico side. That combination with Chris Weehan and Devin Sandoval. We see Romeo Parks being that player to hold off defenders and combine with the other two forwards. Mexico has looked the more dangerous side so far in this extra time. Can El Paso get on the ball? Can they shake themselves out of that funk of giving up a late goal?
Well, they will have to. That's the thing about soccer. No time for a little coach speak, no time for timeouts, resets. You are on the field, and the decisions you make have immediate repercussions. And the substitution for El Paso, as you saw, coming in the 96th minute, Macaulay King's night is done. The Englishman coming off, as you thought, Michael, for Guillermo Memo Diaz. Former New Mexico Player of the Year this time with the Gadsden Panthers. Here's Robinson. Le'Veon does well to keep it. Ryan. Diaz. Guzman. Parks. Parks commits the foul on Ross.
That's well done there by Nick Ross.
And a physical yellow card issued to Troy Lassane, it appears. Or perhaps someone on the United bench. Troy Lassane, a little dissent, and gets a little more attention from John Freeman. That is 2 cautions issued to the bench for United. I think one on Lassane. And take your pick. Zach Prince, Brandon Morris, Gavin Clinton, or Peter Davis. Going to penalties at Greater Nevada Field. They can't solve it. Phoenix Rising FC and Reno 1868. Might the same be in store for a second straight week at Southwest University Park? Ryan, Mishak Jerome. Over the top he goes, Diaz. Trying to get a touch on that, wasn't able to get it squarely. Parks, Sandoval. Wide to Najem. So much has come through him since he came on. Tenari trying to chip it. Ryan gets in front of it. Guzman from Najem. And now Yearwood. And certainly United looking the more dangerous side. You're in the first 15-minute session of overtime so far. Right. Fronted well by Saeed Robinson. Najem on the run. Makinde trying to close him down. Najem, good ball, Parks. Najem does well to sidestep Yuma. Far post, headed down, straight to Ketterer from Suggs.
And there just seems to be a new sense of life for New Mexico United. They're more composed on the ball. Even under pressure, you see Kalen Ryden go back to his goalkeeper, open up to get it back.
Take a quick look at the replay. Najem. Romeo Parks' first touch did not go anywhere near, I think, where he wanted it to, but Najem there to clean it up and make something from it. Integral for this United attack since coming on at halftime. Diaz trying to pluck it away from Ryden. Lots of room for Ryden. Suggs now. Challenged by Boehner. Good work by the Ohio man.
That's well done from Matt Boehner. That's why he was brought in, because of his ability to play both at the right back and center back position. That versatility.
Parks, Yearwood, glances away from Diaz, who will knock it forward. Right there, it's been all United here in this overtime period. Parks. Guzman. Locomotive just scrambling for something. Right now, the pace being dictated by the visitors. Guzman. Yearwood from the back. Yuma. Ross trying to get there, but Guzman back. Bounces nicely for Suggs. Tries one straight to Ketterer.
Everything seems to be going New Mexico's way right now.
Pitch is tilted in one direction, certainly. Here's Rebellon. Fronted by his fellow Colombian Guzman. Ross, Borelli, chipped over. Makinde. Not really ready for that. Ryden over the top. Yuma to bring it down for Richie Ryan. Locomotive FC, though, looking for answers. Here's Boehner. Diaz. Far post. Robinson. A little too far ahead, but there in the box. Makinde straight to Mizell. Well worked, though, by Locomotive FC. Just what the doctor ordered, too. They needed that.
Yeah, definitely need moments like that, more moments like that. A great ball from Memo Diaz towards that back post. Not able to connect with Saidi Robinson on the initial pass. However, finding Moses Makinde connects well with it, but it's right at Cody Mizell.
Yuma ducks to get out of Ketterer's way. Little leapfrog with the ball. Into the final minute of our first 15-minute overtime. I'm not sure if there will be stoppage time added here. We will find out shortly. Guzman. Mizell. 7 clean sheets for Cody Mizell this season. New Mexico United did a great job defensively to close out the regular season. But the man who set the mark in the USL Championship is on the other side. Logan Ketterer with 8 clean sheets this year. Neither one able to keep the clean sheet tonight, though. Here's Borelli given a lot of space. Borelli threads a needle. Makinde rolls it. Robinson! Mizell gets there. Yuma.
And what an opportunity that was for the Locomotive.
Best looking chance in overtime. Diaz trying to float one forward, and they'll let it go for a goal kick. That's going to do it. No stoppage time, and we will go to our second 15-minute session, tied at 1. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that quick 15 minutes. Here you see Saeed Robinson tied at 1. 30th minute goal by Dylan Maris, answered in the final waning seconds of regulation by Romeo Parks, who has one here and did not miss by much.
Definitely been dangerous since he's been on.
Tenari floats one to the far post looking for Suggs, and Logan Ketterer, safe hands. And a big opportunity on the other side, Makinde. That one a little too far ahead of Robinson. This, though, chance of overtime. Robinson straight to Mizell.
That's probably the save of the game right now. Cody Mizell in a crucial moment, stopping Saeed Robinson, putting the Locomotive up 2-1 in extra time. But well worked. We've seen him and Moses Makinde get a couple of chances in these last couple of during this first overtime period.
Salim Mohammed will come on to replace Juan Pablo Guzman here to begin the second overtime session. And Distel Zola will enter the game for Locomotive FC to replace Brian Rebellon. Rebellon has been pretty integral, more defensively than offensively, playing in an advanced position, kind of dropping back as players subbed out, but he's put in a pretty good shift tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done well for his team. He's been a reason why the game is in extra time. Talked about him defensively and how well he covered ground, being able to make space centrally look compact and then get out to that wing backs for New Mexico United. Definitely a big part of the defensive unit for El Paso.
Tied at 1, the final 15 minutes of overtime. If we are still notched, even if both teams score, we will head to penalties. No sudden death overtime in soccer. Sandoval draws the foul. And they cannot come up with a winner in Reno either. 4 penalties apiece converted for Reno 1868 and Phoenix Rising FC. When that one goes final, we'll tell you. But a free kick in a dangerous spot for New Mexico United.
Absolutely. I think Chris Rian standing up on this. Got some big bodies in there for New Mexico United.
Weehan knocked down. Saeed Robinson will get it, and I think Richie Ryan was in there, and Robinson draws the foul from Parks. I'll give it to the 6'4" Jamaican. When he hits you, you will feel it.
Someone that's 6'4", how smoothly he moves, how comfortable he is with the ball at his feet. Really impressive.
I know United was certainly looking for more offensive production from him throughout the regular season. Oh, good work by Robinson here. And that's going to be a goal kick in the end. Good work by Hamilton, able to knock that off of Robinson out. Rising FC on the last frame of penalties converts all 5 and defeats Reno 1868. So the winner of this match will head to Phoenix next week to play in the Western Conference Finals.
You want to say you're surprised, however, how dominant Phoenix has been over the last few years. No real surprise that they find themselves again in the Western Conference Final.
Long ball out of the back. Parks does well to trap it, deflect it. Good solid play to clear it out. Yuma, important intervention at the back for Locomotive FC. Salim Muhammad. Tenari crosses the ball. The fresh legs of Memo Diaz are waiting. Makinde. Robinson. Locomotive FC ready to work it around a bit. Jerome. Ross will control. Jerome, the Haitian international. Bonelli. Ryan from Yuma.
This is a much-needed spell of possession for El Paso.
Diaz into space. Saeed Robinson has a goal and misses wide up and over.
Those moments have got to be encouraging for Coach Mark Lowry. Understanding that, yes, his team has won in penalties last weekend against Tulsa. However, can they create something and get a goal and not have to go to penalties and leave it up to chance?
Kalen Wright. Yearwood. Suggs. Parks trying to turn. You're right. Solid moves for the big man. Sandoval sorts it out. Parks back to the net. Tenari makes the better of the shot. Will send it wide. Najem. Good cross. Mishak Jerome is there. Distel Zola. Former French junior international. Oh yeah, under 21, but when you read the list of guys he played with, amazing. Good one upside to Makinde. Has to go to the corner to retrieve it and will earn a throw-in.
That's a really good ball from Memo Diaz to find Moses Makinde, making a run through, even though he's not an attacking player per se.
Borelli. Goal kick.
Even though Moses Makinde is not an attacking player per se, done well. Give the Locomotive something going forward in the attack.
Six minutes into our second overtime session. Once again, if it's tied, it'll go to penalties after this. Locomotive FC, though, seems to have sorted itself out offensively a bit.
Yeah, they've done well to weather the storm. And in that first extra time period, now they find themselves with some possession, some opportunities in this second overtime period.
The safe bet for Diaz. Back to Ross. Ryan can't keep it. Sandoval keeps a hold. Taken down by Diaz and is going to get the physical yellow card.
And that's a smart foul from Memo Diaz because Chris Wien had just overlapped Devin Sandoval and it was 2 versus 1 against Mishak Jerome. Without that foul, does New Mexico get a chance on goal? A smart play by Memo Diaz to break up that counterattacking moment from New Mexico United.
A professional foul, but it does lead to another dangerous New Mexico United free kick. And Chris Wehan awaits.
This one is sort of in an awkward spot because it's straight right in the middle.
Wehan chips it. Goes near post. Ross will get it. And Borelli will give it a ride for a United throw. David Najem has proven integral for Troy Lesesne, the 5'9", 28-year-old from Clifton, New Jersey. Suggs. Muhammad. Back to Yearwood. Salih Muhammad. Forward. Not able to thread the needle to Romeo Parks. Muhammad has what has to be the goal of the season. And he did it in New Mexico United's first match. Call it about a good 30, 35 yards off the byline. Hits it in full volley. Skies over the top and into the back of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks goal. I think that's your USL goal of the year. Scored in the very first match of the season on the restart.
Aesthetically speaking, for New Mexico's probably the goal of the year in terms of importance.
Zola does well to win it. Saeed Robinson, Makinde, Borelli. Makinde. That's a foul on Locomotive FC. Najem and Wehan. Knocked back by Parks. Najem looking to set something up. Muhammad. Good possession here for United. Yearwood to the left and Suggs. Suggs on Boehner. Gets the cross. But not able to connect and square it.
He's got to be disappointed in himself. Not getting his hips around that one. Put it out. Out of touch for. Try to play for a goal kick. Team immediately grabbed his face. Disappointed.
Las Cruces native, 31 years old. Get past 30. 2 straight matches at 120 minutes. It does leave an impact. I remember talking with Richie Ryan after last week's game. He was told him, have a beer, have a cold one. You deserve it. But I'm going to need 2 just to make myself feel my legs again. Still out there, as is Yuma. Yuma left a little space. He and Ryan switch places. Ryan, that's offside. And the flag forced up because Makinde touched it.
Mark Lowry's got to be pleased with the efforts of Saeed Robinson and Moses Makinde, especially in this extra time and in the 2 extra time periods. Akinde is not necessarily an attacking player. Obviously, he's played a little bit of left back and has to get forward from that left back position. However, he's done well to help them in possession and also get forward when needed to.
2 minutes of overtime left. Here's Suggs. Sandoval. Back to Suggs again on the left. Shut down a bit. Muhammad. Parks. Tenari trying to turn. To Suggs again, the cross. Floated. Makes it all the way through. And the foul committed by New Mexico United in the box. We'll give a free kick to Locomotive FC.
A handball by Chris Rian at that back post. He was surprised that that got over the head of Eder Borelli. Wasn't ready for it.
Borelli's only 5'7".
Takes a bounce and hits him on the end. And immediately he does the same thing, grabs his head, and can't believe that he didn't take that opportunity.
Headed to the final couple of minutes here. Little room for Suggs to roam. Slow roller will find Tenari. To Najem. Hamilton and Wright. Weehan delivers left. It's Yearwood. Slow one. Bounced out and Yuma clears immediately. Coming on, David Estrada for Austin Yearwood. Here in the 119th minute, David Estrada. And it'll be Ryan Williams, the flying Hawaiian, in the 119th minute as well for Josh Suggs. Yearwood and Suggs subbed off. Troy Lesane using that final substitution to find some fresh legs for possible penalty kicks. Here is Sandoval. Tenari. Still not done yet. Here's Najem. Hamilton and Ryden. Seconds remaining here in the second overtime. Sully Muhammad. Williams, first touch of the night. Hamilton. Najem. That's the man they want to have it. But he didn't have any opportunity to send it across, and that is going to do it. For a second straight week, Locomotive FC will go to penalties. They prevailed against FC Tulsa. But New Mexico United into the thick of this as well, based on the 96th minute goal by Romeo Parks. Troy Lesane's Road Warriors trying to get it done on the road one more time.
And both teams have to be pleased with their efforts in this game. Obviously, the Locomotive have to be a little disappointed that they gave up a goal late in that second half. However, how the subs were able to come on and provide some attacking options has to be pleasing for Coach Mark Lowry. You see immediately as they go over to the team bench to get ready for these penalties, both staffs encouraging their players, pumping their players up, letting them know the job is not done yet. Yeah, we've got to keep our head up and stay focused and be ready to see out this game.
With Suggs off the field, Devin Sandoval takes over the penalties, or takes over the captain's duties.
Blue, first or second? You're first? You're going to kick second.
Listen in to John Freeman.
White's first?
So Locomotive FC will go first.
That's all, in my opinion, that's always a smart move. You put the pressure on the team shooting second. If you make, they're chasing you. If you make it, they've got to make it. They can't slip up. They go in second, in my opinion, it's always it puts you in the more difficult position because you're having to match what the team in front of you is doing, especially if they're making them.
Interesting. Over the course of the season, Cody Mizell has faced 2 penalties. One was converted, 4 penalties, pardon me. 3 conversions and 1 miss. So he didn't stop any during the season. But I believe this is the first time in a United uniform he's been put in a position where he's in penalties after stoppage time. For Logan Ketterer, 2 penalty kick games in the USL Cup against Phoenix Rising. (4-2) in penalties last season for New Mexico United in the USL, or in the US Open Cup, pardon me. As they will once again head to the south end of Southwest University Park, right in front of 8th Notch. Cody Mizell and Logan Ketterer. Red versus blue. Who you got? And it'll be Eder Borelli to take first for Locomotive FC. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Both teams have been in this situation before. El Paso last week against Tulsa. Confident in Logan Ketterer's abilities and in their ability to put PKs away. And New Mexico United being in this position last year on a couple of occasions in the US Open Cup. Which players can be cool, calm, collected, pick their corners, pick their sides.
And Ed Borelli. First up against Cody Mizell. Look at that face. Show me your war face. Borelli, stopped by Mizell, but it goes in anyway. Mizell guessing correctly, but so much spin on that ball it goes out. Devin Sandoval has converted a couple of penalties against Locomotive FC this season. 2 of his 4 goals, 3 of the 4 scored here in El Paso this year.
And every time he's gone to his left, the goalkeeper's right. I'm sure Logan Ketterer is aware of that.
Ketterer guesses left, and Sandoval coolly converts.
Those situations, it just turns into a mind game. Knowing that you faced the keeper this multiple times, knowing that you faced that player multiple times. Now you're trying to guess which way. Are they going to switch up where they normally have gone? Are they going to keep it the same? Devin Sandoval keeps it the same.
Nick Ross, the Scotsman. Stopped again by Mizell, but again it goes in. Mizell is guessing properly, but he's not keeping the ball into the back of the net. Off the fingertips. Chris Wehan for New Mexico United emphatically scores.
That's the different result from the last time he faced Logan Ketterer in a penalty. And to go to his right, Logan Ketterer's left, last time they faced each other.
And the Irishman, Richie Ryan, converted the last time last week against FC Tulsa. Cody Mizell has guessed right each time so far. Ryan rolls one in low. Well taken by the Irishman. Put it in the corner, not a whole lot a keeper can do.
And again, Cody Mizell guesses right. I think he gets a hand to that one as well. Gotten a tip to all 3 penalties by the Locomotive.
It'll be the big man, Kalen Ryden, a USL champion last season with Real Monarchs, looking to continue his 2020 with the left foot against Logan Ketterer. Into the top corner, easy as you please. Just a well-taken penalty. It'll be Saeed Robinson. He shot 4th last week and ended the match versus FC Tulsa. Such will not be the case tonight. Mizell, a little gamesmanship. The Blue Cat from Woodstock, Georgia. Robinson. Mizell guessed wrong that time. 4 for 4 for a second straight week. And it's the big man stepping forward for New Mexico United. Romeo Parks, 97th or 96th minute goal. Even the score at 1. Breathing new life into United's season. Trying to do the same here tonight. Stopped by Ketterer. For a second straight week, Logan Ketterer with a penalty kick stop. And it will be Distel Zola to try and send Locomotive FC to Phoenix, Arizona next week.
That was a poor penalty from Romeo Parks. Everything about his prep, everything about the way he put the ball down to get ready for that penalty didn't seem that he had a lot of confidence.
The Frenchman Distel Zola coming to Locomotive FC from Tours FC. In it goes! Locomotive FC on to the Western Conference Finals in penalties. A second straight win in penalties. A second straight trip on the road to the Western Conference Finals. And El Paso Locomotive FC once again
and you see the players go congratulate Logan Ketterer, a terrific save, guessing the right way on Romeo Parks and making the crucial save that puts El Paso in the Western Conference Finals. A great game from both teams, great effort from both teams. However, there's got to be a winner, there's got to be a loser, and tonight it's El Paso that's advancing and moving on.
Well, you have to give credit to New Mexico United FC. All since the restart, every single match on the road for Troy Lessane's squad. What a season they have had. It's a shame it has to come to an end this way. But indeed it will. The Road Warriors finally vanquished in El Paso. Distel Zola, and it seemed to me as they broke the huddle, I saw Mark Lowry ask a question, and I saw hands go up from the huddle. I think that the players were saying, who wants to take penalties? Distel Zola's hands one of the first up. And in they go. Logan Ketterer once again with an amazing stop. Romeo Parks cannot continue United season. 5-3 in penalties. Locomotive FC on to the Western Conference Finals. More coming up.
From start through inspection to finish.
My roofs don't leak. Guaranteed.
Call Lone Star 915-600-0050.
The next time you're looking for that special dress, a new outfit for a night out, or even if you're getting started on that next home improvement project, Support your community and think local first. There's nothing as unique or personal as buying something from your hometown. Remember, when you buy El Paso, you heart El Paso. If your local business wants to be featured, follow us on Instagram at Buy El Paso and online at buyep.org. Visit us online or on social media for more local retail, food, and service options.
Don't wait until 2021 to start your new career. Enroll today at Southwest University and become a nurse, sonographer, or health administrator. Earn your associate degree and become an essential community member in only 12 months. Yes, only 12 months. Southwest University is El Paso's #1 allied health university. Finish the year with a new purpose and a new career. Transfer credits are accepted. Visit us at southwestuniversity.edu. Southwest University makes you happen.
From start through inspection to finish.
My roofs don't leak, guaranteed.
Welcome back, everybody. The celebrations continue at Southwest University Park for a second straight week. Locomotive FC, perfect in penalties. This one went all 5 rounds for El Paso. 4 of 4 last week, 5 of 5 this week. And that means for a second straight season, Locomotive FC will make a trip back to the Western Conference Finals. Duke Keith, along with Michael Balogun with you. Amazing finish again tonight, Michael.
And this one's got to feel special for the group, for Coach Mark Lowry and the staff and the players, giving up a goal late in that second half and then digging in deep. A lot of credit has to go to the players that came on, the quote-unquote defensive players who came on and were able to create chance and keep them alive in that extra time. And then those same players, Saeed Robinson, Distel Zola, stepped up in crucial moments, taking crucial penalties, and did their job and put them away. So a lot of credit has to go to the substitutes that came on, but also just the entire group. Coach Mark Lowry and his staff, their game plan, it was absolutely terrific tonight for them.
Just incredible performance. And again, Logan Ketterer, one big penalty stop. That's all you can ask for your keeper. And he made it tonight. Cody Mizell, as we take a look at Logan Ketterer, he will be our Estrella Jalisco Estrella of the match this evening. Ketterer, easy handle. Some big saves tonight, none bigger than in penalties against Romeo Parks, the man who beat him in the 96th minute to send it to overtime and penalties. All night long, Ketterer called upon at different times. You have to say, nobody has rebounded as well from what was probably a disappointing performance for him last week than Logan Ketterer did this week, Michael.
Yeah, he was much better this week. In this game against New Mexico United, you saw he made some crucial mistakes last week during the game, but also was stepped up in overtime and made up for it. Today he was better during the game, but then came up big during the penalties and made the crucial save against Romeo Parks, who had the better of him in the second half. So
Certainly.
He's got to be pleased with himself. He's got to be pleased with just his contribution to the team in this game.
Hugs all around New Mexico United. Curtain call for their traveling fans making their way to Southwest University Park tonight, but it will be Locomotive FC who will be headed to Phoenix next week, a game that we will have for you on your El Paso Las Cruces CW. We'll give you the start time when we know it, but that is going to happen next Saturday, and Mike and I will be bringing it to you. Let's head down to Elizabeth Vega for our Estrella of the Match interview with Logan Ketterer. Elizabeth.
We're down here on the field with Estrella of the Match for back-to-back weeks, Logan Ketterer. Now, Logan, 2 weeks in a row that the team went to penalty kicks, some big saves for you. How are you feeling right now?
Feels great. Super excited to go back to the Western Conference Finals. Really excited. We're going to bring home a trophy this year. Can't wait to keep going.
Oh. Now, this was a hard-fought win for the Locos, but it turned out in victory. How do you feel about your teammates' performance?
Man, it's tough to go 122 weeks back-to-back. We're playing really well. We got to clean up a couple things, but we keep going. So we're still playing. That's all that matters.
This was a huge win for the Locos, a rivalry match, a playoff round. You know, how do you feel about going into the next match against Phoenix Rising?
Yeah, so it's against Phoenix. All right, well, we're going to go there. We know we dominated the game last time we went there. A little unlucky with the scoreline, but happy to get some revenge this time.
Now, there's a lot of Locos fans here in the stadium today. What do you want to say to them?
Thanks for staying strong. Thanks for staying loud. Can't wait to make you guys proud next week.
Thank you, Logan. Good luck next week.
Outstanding work by Logan Ketterer once again tonight. And Locomotive FC getting the response it absolutely needed from its keeper. No one has been better at stopping penalties from the spot in the regular season than Logan Ketterer over the last 2 seasons. And all you want, especially in a penalty kick shootout, is for your keeper to make that one big stop. As long as you're doing your job offensively, you get one big save from your keeper, you're on.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that's the conversation that some of the leaders have with Logan Ketterer, just give us one. Just get us one, and we'll do our job. And he's done that for a second week in a row, just getting that one crucial save. And tonight, it was against Romeo Parks, and that save puts them into the Western Conference Final for a second year in a row.
How impressive is it, though, for this Locomotive team to do this 2 straight seasons, postseason play? I mean, this is a squad that Mark Lowry seems to set up for these deep playoff runs. You want to do this time of the season, and let's take a look at our GECU save of the game. Oh, do we have something going on field? What do we have? Oh, my goodness. Guillermo Diaz on bended knee, and apparently she said yes because she gets the ring. I don't imagine he'd hand it over if the answer was otherwise. Memo Diaz, congratulations in front of 8th Notch. How can you beat that on a Saturday night in El Paso, Texas?
Congratulations to Guillermo Diaz and his fiancée now. Not a bad Saturday night for him. Gets to advance to the Western Conference semifinals and also takes himself off the market.
There you go. Good job, Guillermo Memo Diaz. Well played, young man. Well played indeed. Yes, indeed, she said yes. Now, GECU save of the game, and I think I know which one it's going to be. Extra time. Big stop on a big header from Kalen Ryden out of the back. A huge cross from David Najem, who was critical for United's success tonight. But we do the physical play of the game, and it is going to be Dylan Maris's goal. This was a heck of a play. Inventiveness for El Paso's number 7. A beautiful goal.
Yeah, he does well to bring that, cut it back across the face of the goal and just bends it towards that back post. And you see how excited he is. He can't hit that one any cleaner. Right in the top corner. Nothing Cody Mizell could do about that one.
And for 65 minutes, it was the game winner until Romeo Parks. But Logan Ketterer gets his revenge on Parks at the end. Let's take a look at the full match stats brought to you by the Hospitals of Providence in penalties. There you see it, United with the Romeo Parks save by Logan Ketterer allows Locomotive FC to end it on Moses Makinde, or pardon me, Distel Zola's penalty, converted penalty. 5 for 5. Again, Locomotive perfect from the spot when they needed to be. This is an experienced team. Mark Lowry made it that way for a reason. It's an older team, but these are the guys who will step up when their backs are against the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if anything, this run to the Western Conference for me is more impressive because of the key injuries they've had going into the playoffs. They've lost some of their key members. When you have some, a normal starter in Nick Ross coming off the bench because he's not at full fitness and he's been out for such a long time, and you're still able to get wins and advance into the Western Conference Finals, you have to be pleased with that. And Coach Mark Lowry and his staff have to be pleased with the work that they've done, and they should be happy and congratulate themselves on the work that they've done and be pleased with the work that the players have done on the field.
Well, certainly United on the front foot, especially in overtime, and especially the first 15 minutes of that overtime. 83% passing accuracy and 60% possession. As you might expect, it was tilted one way in that first overtime period, but Locomotive gathered itself and made it stick. Let's take a look at the Brian Bird's home selling team upcoming schedule. And we will have it for you next Saturday. El Paso will travel to Phoenix Rising. That is Phoenix, not Reno. But that will be a game we will have for you on your El Paso Las Cruces CW, October the 21st. That's the 4th, I should say. That will be an 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time start. I'll sort it out. And the match will air on your El Paso Las Cruces CW as El Paso earns its way into the Western Conference Final. And, Michael, that is just impressive, and I agree with you. Even more impressive this season than it was last.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to be excited. They've got to really enjoy this and enjoy this night. But I'm sure the conversation in the locker room is, hey, enjoy this tonight, fellas. However, we've got a big one coming up next weekend. So as soon as we sleep through tonight, we get ready tomorrow, and we start preparing for Phoenix. They played well against Phoenix earlier in this year when they lost 3-1 in Phoenix. They've got to go back to Phoenix against a very good Rising team. However, Rising don't have a Junior Flemings who's very dangerous. However, they still have other players that are capable of beating you. So the loss of Junior Flemings, it hurts Phoenix. However, it doesn't mean they don't have other players that can step in and hurt them. Locomotive are going to be aware of that. They're going to go in. The coaching staff are going to do their job and prepare this group. And they're going to come out next weekend and look to avenge that loss last year and advance to the USL Championship game.
Well, they're going to have to do it, and if they do it, it will be their first victory over Phoenix Rising in this will be the 3 matches they will have played through the regular season, last season, and this, to get into the USL Championship Final, which will either be in Louisville or Tampa Bay, one of the two. But we are finished, and our thanks again to Juan Gutierrez and the executive producer of our broadcast tonight for his work, for Elizabeth Vega for her work on the field, and for you tuning in all season long. It has been great. This is the final home match for 2020 here at Southwest University Park. But the season will continue, and it will continue on your El Paso Las Cruces CW next Saturday at 8:30. For Michael Balogun, I am Duke Keith. Our final score is 2-2, 5-3. Locomotive FC advances to the Western Conference Finals for a second straight season, in penalties for a second straight week. From El Paso, Texas, so long, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.